home or life insurance by clicking on our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in this segment of the morning show on the Zoom call today, Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln. Hi, Ed. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Seth.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, and thank you as always for making time for us. I know things are busy at the Weather Service, and it's so kind of you to give us time as you always do, Ed. Now, I got to ask you this to start us out. Okay, what would you rather have? Would you rather have this weather for the remainder of the spring or an elite pass rusher for the Packers?
Oh, give me that pass rusher every time. Yeah.
Oh, you're killing me, Ed. I would have said the weather. My football team will find somebody, but no, I get it. I get it. How long is this? First of all, what in the world is going on, and how long is this going to stick around, Ed?
Yeah, we decided to try spring out a little bit here, so we're going to be pushing 20 degrees above normal. Some of the high temperatures here. It's fun. Yeah, it'll be a good little break here from the cold we had in February for a bit there. Yeah, we've got a really warm air mass kind of setting the stage, though, for some bumpy weather coming up later in the week. But, enjoy it. It's you don't see 60s and 70s in March that many times, because it's going to start to push records. Records are generally mid to upper 70s this time of year, but still, near record. It's not something you get to do all that often for highs in March.
Okay. So what's the next several days look like? Let's start with for today and get into the rest of the week day by day. What are we looking at here, Ed?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we're going to have quiet weather here to start with. With sunshine today, sun tomorrow, even sunny on Thursday. And the high temp, we have a cold front going through. You might not know it. There's not many clouds. It's very dry. Little gusty winds may develop this afternoon. But we're going to be 67 today after a cold front passes. Ooh. Now what? Then the lows will get a little cooler tonight because it'll be clear skies, but it'll still be kind of windy. But 38 for a low, so not below freezing. And then 70 tomorrow, 73 on Thursday, 77 Friday. I mean, boom.
Wow.
And then Friday night's the big show, the really, really big show. Get your tickets now because they're going fast. But, we're.
Well, let's dive into Friday. What's coming up Friday night?
Yeah, we've got a very deep low pressure system that's going to come across the Rockies and it's going to move up through roughly Iowa into Wisconsin. Well, that path is going to keep us in the really warm air. The only trouble is really, really warm air it provides what we call a cap in the atmosphere. So we're trying to see how severe the storms are going to get Friday night. When the cold front arrives, all bets are off, but sometimes, with that really warm layer aloft, it can kind of subdue or make it a little less, intense over a wide area. So the Storm Prediction Center's, wrestling with that as well. But we're thinking there's a much higher likelihood of getting, wind damage over a large area. So we're pushing that threat. Isolated tornadoes may mix in there as well, but
wow.
The biggest concern is wind damage. So if you got anything outside for that Friday night time frame, roughly between for the DeWitt County area, it'll probably be closer to 10:30 before the storms get there. 10:30, between 10 and midnight is probably the DeWitt County time frame there.
Okay. So what kind of winds are we looking at from what direction? What can we anticipate when they start to? Will it be a windy day Friday and they'll just pick up? What's the kind of outlook for the day in particular look like?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the day is going to start out with strong southeast winds, and then they're going to increase all the way into the afternoon. They'll be sustained 25-30 sustained. Gusts, up around 40. So it'll be really breezy out of the southeast as the day is starting to progress. And then the storms hit, roughly in that, 10 o'clock time frame in the DeWitt County area. And it's going to hit hard. I mean, when those storms arrive, you're going to know it because the gust front on this line the storms alone are going to be moving almost 60 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
They're going to really be flying. It looks like anyway, because the winds above the ground are really fast right now. So there's going to be a lot of steering winds just pushing this along. So in probably 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours, it's going to go from one side of Illinois to the other, which is really fast. So probably, well, maybe 5 hours. I don't want to shortchange it. It's not going to be an Indy car or anything, but it's going to be moving.
Yeah. So what's will we get some moisture with this? Will temperatures drop? What's going to happen with those couple of things?
Yeah, the rainfall amounts right now are looking, since it's going to be moving really fast, we may pick up a quick half-inch of rain if the thunderstorm gets really heavy over the top, maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch at most. But just the time frame of how long that line is going to be over the top of any one location really is going to be less than an inch of rain. So flash flooding is not a big concern. We're just really focusing in on that damaging wind threat and some tornadoes that we'll try and pick up on radar as best we can and get those warnings out as needed. But it's going to be bumpy on Friday night. Power outages will probably occur because trees hitting into power lines. Trees, if there's trees near your home, you never know. Some might fall into your home too. So just got to be aware that this wind is going to be strong enough to probably cause some pretty significant damage in some locations, and just be ready.
All right. Keep it in mind. Is it normal to get a tornado, Ed, without any rain? I mean, I feel like tornadoes and thunderstorms and rain are synonymous.
Yeah, the rain may not be as heavy as some other events, but there'll be rain with these thunderstorms as they're arriving and any tornadoes that develop. We're not going to have a bunch of rain-wrapped tornadoes like these huge supercells that are dumping inches per hour of rainfall. It's not going to be one of those events. This is going to be a fast-hitting, in and out storm system, so it's going to make it a lot more challenging to really kind of hone in on those tornadic circulations, because the storms are going to be moving so fast. So if we take a 2.5-minute scan, and then you got to wait 2.5 minutes to get another scan, in that 2.5 minutes, the storm can go, if it's moving 50 to 60 miles an hour, it's moving pretty fast. That's makes it more challenging. So we're going to have it on a high rapid scan rate. So we're going to probably put it on as fast of a scan rate of the lowest slices as we can, and do our best to stay ahead of anything that gets tornadic.
Sounds like it's going to be a challenging night for you all then.
It will. Yeah, we'll have quite a few people here working. It's for our whole county warning area, we're targeting between 9 p.m. and about 3 a.m. So it's going to be a long night. But that's just comes with the territory. We got to make sure we're ready to go when that severe weather hits, no matter when it is.
Yeah, so I guess that begs the question. I never thought about this, but I always just figure whoever's in the office just deals with these things. Do you when something like this is coming, do you get extra staff in there, and are you all taking those extra measures, I guess, to make sure you're getting that information out?
Yeah, exactly. We have 16 meteorologists on staff total. And we rely on all of them. I mean, 3 of them are managers, so we help out when we're needed, and the other staff, take the reins a lot of the times on most of the duties. But I'll be like maybe an incident commander on an event where I'll be, because we use the ICS structure of organization in the office so that the information flow is in the proper modes, and everybody gets the information they need in the proper manner. So we are having maybe 8 if a big outbreak, 10 people, and we'll bring an electronic technician in. If it's, like a moderate risk or a high risk, we'll bring an electronic technician in. We'll bring in our ITO, so that if anything ever happens, we've got immediate response to help get those systems back up and running again.
Gotcha. All right. So fireworks on Friday night. We'll be on the lookout. You mentioned things are still a little uncertain, Ed, in terms of just like where the biggest impact of this is going to be. What's what is your time frame on having a better idea of where this thing is headed and the impact it'll have?
Well, the atmospheric conditions will probably not change a lot. It's just how much weight we want to give to that warm layer aloft, what we call a cap. Because, with it coming in at night, that tends to, storms have a lot more volatility sometimes at night than they are in the day, because that cap is going to weaken a little bit at night, and then it can get through. So I think we'll try, everything has its role in that event, and we'll see how much weight we're going to give that cap and how much it may reduce or not reduce the severe weather threat. So right now they're giving it less weight because we've got a 30%. It's basically what equates to an enhanced risk of of severe weather, which is 3 of 5. So a level 3 of 5 threat for significant wind damage is already up to just south of DeWitt County. I mean, it includes Logan or parts of Logan and over to Macon. It's creeping north as the outlooks continue. So, I would just say that, 2 days out, we'll have a really good feel for it. And then the morning of, that's when, if there's going to need to be a moderate risk, that'll come out, a high risk, that'll come out. Because they usually don't go 2 days out with the moderate risks, because they really want to hone in on where's the biggest threat and loss of life potential and loss of your home completely potential.
Okay. So where can we follow along with like what this storm path will be and the impacts? Is there going to be like a map showing kind of the trajectory of it and all those things?
We'll have some of that information in our daily briefing package, which is on our website, weather.gov/Lincoln. In the upper right corner, It has today's daily briefing. And that is our severe weather briefing we send out to all of our 35 county emergency managers. And, any of the most recent information, we update that packet and give you the most likely scenario and impacts that may fall out of that.
All right, Ed, so give us real quick to wrap us up in this segment, the precautions we need to take as, residents of this area. What do we need to do to be ready for this thing?
Well, basically, have a plan that if severe weather and severe thunderstorms can damage your homes, have a plan of where you're going to go for safe shelter. Have your basement location ready to go with batteries, water, shoes, helmets. If a tornado is going to hit your house, some of that stuff can fall in the basement. Bike helmets I have downstairs. So have a bag downstairs ready to go. Make sure everybody knows where your safe spot is, and have a weather radio. I mean, because that weather radio is your immediate. The warning's out. I know about it. You don't have to wait. If the cell towers have an issue, most of them don't, but you never know. Multiple ways to get those warnings, and especially severe thunderstorm warnings. Not all of them alert phones. Only the destructive tagged ones with baseball hail and 80-mile-an-hour winds will alert your phone for severe thunderstorm warnings. And we'll probably have very large severe thunderstorm warnings ahead of this line for the wind damage.
Okay.
So that weather radio is worth its weight in gold. Go out and get one. About $40 and can save your life.
All right, Ed, good stuff. Let's break here, my friend. We'll come back, and that really took up a lot of time. We'll come back, talk about March and the spring and all those good things. Again, Ed Shimon, National Weather Service in Lincoln, my guest on the Zoom today. More to come with Ed on the morning show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Tuesday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network. Corn starting today slightly higher, beans higher, and wheat slightly lower. May corn opening 475 1/4, up 3 1/4. July corn up 2 3/4, 481 1/4. December new crop 456 1/2, up 1 1/2. May beans starting the day 1020 1/2, up 6 1/2. July beans up 5 3/4, 1034. November new crop 1022 1/4, up 4 1/2. May Chicago wheat 559 1/4, down 3 1/4. July wheat down 3 1/2, 573 3/4. September wheat 590 3/4, down 2 3/4. May bean meal 303.50, that's up $1.20. May bean oil 42.54, up 28 cents. Opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Tuesday morning. I'm Jim Taylor.
Good morning. I'm Helen Michelasi, and I'm running for mayor of Clinton. I believe our city has a lot of recreational opportunities for people of all ages, skill levels, and abilities. My experience in grant writing, program development and expansion, and leadership abilities will benefit Clinton. We'll develop a plan to enhance and expand the recreational opportunities in our city. Clinton is a great city, and when we all work together, we can move Clinton forward together.
Paid for by Michelasi for Mayor.
If the flu's got you down, the Warner Hospital and Health Services Walk-In Clinic inside Family Medicine can help you feel better fast. CEO Paul Skowron inviting you to make us your backup plan to better health. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Ed Shimon, National Weather Service in Lincoln, our guest on the Zoom today. And Ed, we got the down low on the storm rolling through Friday night. Let's dive into kind of the rest of March. Once that storm rolls through, what's the weekend look like, and what are we in store for the rest of the month?
Sure, Seth. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a cool down after that system rolls through. Temperatures are going to fall off a little bit there. Highs on Saturday will be 62 instead of 77 on Friday, and then high on Sunday only 47. So a bit of a drop off, but we're normally around 50 right now. So slightly below normal on Sunday. But it's going to be really windy Saturday and Sunday. Saturday especially, we're going to have wind gusts. Behind this system. Up to 40-something miles an hour again. So it's going to definitely be breezy. The overnight lows finally get below freezing Sunday night into Monday. 30 degrees, so there could be a little frost on the area, but that's apropos for this time of year. And then back up a little warmer. Monday, the first start of the next week will be 60 degrees. So we'll be back on the upswing after one day below normal there. Not too bad.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ed, it's going to be well-timed because next week starts the spring sports season in Illinois. Baseball, softball, I know track is getting outside and all those things. I'm sure a lot of those kids are looking forward to maybe a nicer start. Last year, I remember the first week was real nice, and then after that, it was just horrendous. What are we in store for the first few weeks of that spring sports season? Let's say 17 to 21 and 24 to 28 of March.
Right, yeah. The outlooks 6 to 10 day and 8 to 14 day, which go all the way up to the 24th, have above normal temperatures and a pretty solid signal of above normal temperatures. So since we're in the low 50s normally, you can expect 60, decent weather. Really not, during the day, and that's not every day is going to be above normal, but still, most of the days will have the potential of having that signal give us a little bit warmer weather and then above normal precip. So hit or miss on a few storms outside. If you're getting the baseball groups going again, it's not a real intense signal of above normal precip, but just in that first tip the balance, 33 to 40th percentile shows that it's above normal precip potential more than not. And then, that takes us all the way, actually, the 3 to 4 week outlook goes all the way to the first week of April, and that's really solidly above normal temperatures and a little bit, higher potential of above normal precip. So, there's going to be a few storm systems rolling through, kind of luck of the draw there, and if they impact your exact sport at any one day, but the temperatures are looking really good. I think the growing season might kick off a little too soon because we can get some freezes in April, and just got to be careful how the trees bud out and some of those fruit trees.
Yeah, the phrase, Ed. We can't have nice things. I feel like there's a trade-off with this somewhere. What's the trade-off? Like, is this thing going to go away in April? We're going to pay for this somewhere. Where is that payback going to be? I guess
I'm trying to find it, and the outlook for April is above normal, and then the spring, April, May, June is above normal temps and above normal precip. Or spring is above normal precip. So and then the temps level out. And April, May, June equal chances of above or below normal temperatures, but there's warm air, lingering just south of us. So there's going to be probably a few severe weather days here coming up. Just when you see above normal precip and above normal temperatures, that means the moisture content of the air is going to be higher, and those storms fuel off of when those dew points climb into the 60s. Then all bets are off in the spring. So you really got to be ready and make sure you're heeding any kind of warnings that we have. Don't try to keep your game going because you got one more inning or that thunder sounded far away. No, if you can hear thunder, you can get struck by lightning. So just be wary and weather aware, so to speak. Yeah, and heed the information that the Weather Service provides. Or if you hear thunder, just give it a break and let the storms pass.
Ed, are we past the snow? You mentioned we could still see some freezes, but are we past the snow? Are we past all that yuckiness of February?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. But with this low pressure coming through, there's going to be a lot of snow in Iowa, Minnesota. Fargo, North Dakota is probably going to have a blizzard when this low comes through. So, it's just a luck of the draw where those storm tracks are. You can get snow out of these March systems. And heavy snow. several years back, there was a storm that dropped almost 2 feet of snow in Wisconsin, and it was in April. So, never say never. I got my snowblower ready, and I'm like, oh, geez, I barely used it. And that's just the curse immediate. As soon as I said that, I'm like, why did you say that? So I probably just jinxed us, and Mother Nature said, "Well, really? Well, use the blower, I'll get you."
Best laid plans, right? But
I know.
well, let's look. You mentioned April looking above normal temperatures, above normal precip. What remind us, where do we start April in terms of temperatures? And actually, let's tell you what. Where do we, like this time of the year, where are we at? Where do we end March in terms of temperatures? Obviously, start April. Where do we end April? Give us the breakdown of where our temperatures are headed in terms of norms.
Yeah. Since we gain about 90 minutes of sunlight in March, our biggest gain of any month of the year, March and September. Well, September you lose that, in March you gain it. But, we go from 45 in the beginning of March to 58 at the end. So our normals are going to be near 60 by the end of March. And then the lows by the end of March are 35. So, we gain a lot of warmth from that sun. That really helps. And then when we hit into April, we go from 59 in the beginning of the month to 70 at the end of April. So, pretty nice. Can't go wrong there. And then the lows are 36 all the way up to 46. So we'll be doing pretty well as we head through the late part of April there. And April's one of our wettest months. 4.24 inches of rain normally fall in April. So we'll be wet. Got to bring those May flowers with a little bit of rain. So it looks like that's going to happen.
Yeah. What's May looking like, by the way, in terms of temperatures and precip?
Yeah, right now it's showing equal chances of above or below normal temperatures, and there's not a lot of cold air nearby. It's mostly in the Pacific Northwest, so it looks like it should be a pretty normal temperature swing. May, April, May, June into summer. Above normal precip though signals all the way till summer. So I don't know. We hopefully can get rid of the drought. We do have some drought conditions right now. They actually expanded it a little bit. Dr. Trent Ford, the climatologist for Illinois. But I think the rains we had last week and then what we're going to get, with this next weekend, it should help get rid of some of that drought. But DeWitt is in D1 moderate drought right now. So we're going to try and hopefully take a bite out of that with our next analysis here.
Quickly, Ed, about 30 seconds. Give us the outlook for the summer.
The summer is above normal precip again, but near equal chances of precip above or below, temperatures above or below normal. So no heat waves, really expected intense anyway, but it looks like a kind of normal summer, ebb and flow, and be ready for some severe weather.
There we go. Well, Ed, again, where do folks keep up with the latest, especially for that Friday night forecast? How do they find it? Where do they go?
Yeah, weather.gov/Lincoln. Check out our briefing.
Ed Shimon, National Weather Service in Lincoln, my guest on the morning show on the Zoom call today. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton.
WHOW.